was part of his job description. And what's with the Mr. Cooper again? I thought we agreed you were going to call me Owen. She stared stonily back at him. I'm old school, Mr. Cooper. I like to conduct my business my way. Was there any point telling her that as she was working for him, it should actually be his way? Her unsmiling face suggested it would be a waste of breath. Relax. The expenses are next on my list. Right after he'd phoned HR and found out when they were setting up the interviews for the permanent position. A task he couldn't entrust to Hilda in case, God forbid, she decided to apply. With any luck, he'd have a replacement before Christmas. The thought of having to sit next to Hilda at the Christmas party made him feel queasy. Finally, Sandy, office manager and chair of the planning team, rushed in, full of apology, and the meeting got underway. If we hire a karaoke machine, is anyone actually going to sing? Gabby asked 15 minutes later. You wouldn't be asking that if you'd been here last year. After a couple of drinks, this lot will sing with or without a machine. He glanced at Cindy. The lady sitting next to you managed to belt out Rocking Around the Christmas Tree without knowing half the words. Cindy snorted. At least I didn't think I was Frank Sinatra. Owen winced as Gabby's big brown eyes searched out his in a silent question. I may have found myself singing in the bar, he conceded. Singing! Cindy let out a bark of big, rolling laughter. You serenaded the pretty young barmaid. She probably still has nightmares about it. Gabby's eyebrows rose and Owen shifted uncomfortably. It's possible, he murmured. I don't have a crystal-clear memory of the evening. He remembered the hangover the next morning well enough, and the singing, though he had no recollection of who he'd sung to, only that he'd been dared to sing White Christmas by his sales team. Dare him when he was sober, and he'd struggle to turn it down. Dare him when he was drunk, and it seemed he'd do anything. He risked a glance at Gabby and winced again at the expression of disappointment on her face. I'm not usually found singing in bars. He felt it necessary to clarify. I prefer drinking in them. And damn, if he was trying to impress this woman, and he was, no doubt about it, that didn't sound good. Responsible drinking, he added, belatedly realising he sounded like a government health warning. Anyway, moving on, is anyone aside from myself and Cindy in favour of Christmas karaoke? Beside him, Hilda shuddered. Owen couldn't imagine her enjoying any sort of party, never mind one featuring embarrassingly loud singing. Still, at least he didn't have to feel bad about asking her to help organise a party she wouldn't be attending. Is post-dinner entertainment compulsory? This from Gabby again, who looked almost as horrified as Hilda at the thought of singing in public. Couldn't people just talk or dance? She looked at Owen. Or drink and chat up the bar staff? Gabby had meant her comment as a joke, but it was clear from the way Owen's cobalt blue eyes, usually so bold, darted away from hers, that he'd taken it as a dig. But heck, what was she supposed to think about a man who flirted with her as if he liked her, yet who also seemed to flirt with every other female he met too? Apparently even going as far as serenading a barmaid at the last Christmas party. According to office gossip, though, flirting was where it stopped. He didn't have a girlfriend, so her sources... OK, so Cindy had taken great delight in telling her. He'd also, again according to Cindy, never actually dated anyone from the office. So you could be the first, Cindy had gleefully informed her. Gabby had politely and firmly, though rather dishonestly, told her she had no interest in Owen Cooper. Sandy stood abruptly, shaking Gabby out of her musings. Sorry, I need to take this call. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I think you've upset all Blue Eyes, Cindy whispered, leaning towards Gabby. Gabby had to stifle a laugh. Cindy was a stunning Jamaican who had a warm smile, an infectious laugh, and took no crap from anyone. They'd grown close in the 6 months since Gabby had started at Sweet Art, a confectionery company that specialised in putting new twists on the old classics.